I'm waiting for the air to come up, I can do a couple of other things. I can make sure that my heater's working, turn it all the way up, make sure that the blowers are working. They are. And then put it on the defrost and make sure the defroster's working. Which with this one, it's hard to tell because the knob's all messed up. There's my defroster. And then turn it back off. Not yet. Thank you though.
Oh, because you were doing that, so I didn't know if you were going to catch that guy.
My lights and windshield wipers, you could do them now if you wanted. All right, since we're waiting on the air, let's do that because it's going to take a minute anyway. So let's start with our lights. We're going to make sure the headlights are on. We're going to turn our brights on. We can't really tell. We do want to make sure that the indicator is on here. Jason, stop messing with my seat. We're going to make sure that the indicator light comes on the dash. See it there? It's the blue light. Okay. You would need to get out and verify that the bright light actually came on to be able to see it during the daytime. Turn that back off. We're going to check our blinkers, what we can from inside here. At one point, we're going to ask the instructor to help with the lights on the rear of the truck and trailer. But for now, if I look in my mirror and the door is closed, I can see if my blinkers work. I can't even see it. It's too bright out. So I can't tell if the blinkers are working. So that's going to have to be, are they? So I would ask the instructor, can you get out and help me with my lights? We're going to do the left blinkers all the way back, right blinkers all the way back. Then we're going to do the hazards all the way around. Check the high beams. All right. Okay. That was the governor kicking out on the air compressor, so we're good to go there. So we're going to do our static air test first. I'm going to make sure it's in neutral. Parking brake is currently on. I'm going to turn the engine off. Once it completely dies, put the key back to the on position so I can see my gauges. I'm going to release the parking brake and the trailer air supply, right? And the trailer air supply, right, Jason?
What's that?
Release both parking and trailer air supply, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm going to release those.
Neutral.
It's in neutral. Oh, you know what? It's supposed to be in a low gear. You're right. Put it in a low gear.
Yep.
Good call. It's not going to want to go into low gear with the truck off, though. There, it's in low gear. Good call. It's got to be in low gear so there's no chance of it moving once the brakes are off. So you're going to remove your parking brake and your trailer air supply. We're just waiting for all the lights to go away. Now we're going to do our static air test. So once the needles stop moving, we're going to time it for 1 minute, starting now. And we're going to make sure that it doesn't drop more than 3 PSI for a tractor trailer and no more than 2 PSI for a straight truck or a bus. All right. And I'm not going to do the full minute because Jason's a little short on time, but we'll go a few more seconds here. Realistically, if that needle moves, it probably dropped more than 3 PSI. Once that's done, we're going to do our applied air brake test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press the brake pedal, the service brake pedal, all the way to the floor, wait till the needles settle into position, and then I'm going to hold it to the floor for 1 minute, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't drop more than 4 PSI for a tractor trailer or more than 3 PSI for a straight truck or a bus. All right, so brake pedal to the floor. Needles are moving a little. Just let them settle. Once they settle, you can start your time now.
1, 2, 3, move on.
Okay. Once you verify that that's good, now we're ready to test our low air pressure warning. So we're going to fan or pump the brakes until we get to 60 PSI or below. The emergency brake came on. Did you hear that?
I did because we were already low.
No. It came on before the low pressure warning. It popped before the low pressure warning.
You know what? You're right.
So the way it should work is the low pressure warning should come on when you hit 60 PSI on your primary tank, not your secondary. When your primary hits 60 PSI or lower, you should get your low pressure warning. Once we've done that, we're going to continue to fan the brakes until we get to between 20 and 45 PSI, and then the emergency brake is supposed to pop. It popped already. This one popped already. It shouldn't have, though. It should have popped right around here.
Yeah, they are popping still.
They didn't both pop, though. See, I just moved this one.
Yeah.
They didn't. The parking brake never popped.
Well, it didn't?
Nope. It didn't pop at all. Just the trailer brake. And it popped before the low air warning came on.
Yeah. I'm going to call the shop. No.
So that's definitely something you need to note, right? Okay, now what we need to do, we're going to restart the truck because we want to check our fill rate because it has to go from 85 to 100 PSI within 45 seconds. Now, the catch to this is once it hits 100 PSI, you're going to keep watching it because when it gets to 115 or 125 PSI, you're doing the governor cutout. You should hear it little blast of air, it cuts out. Once that's done, we'll move on from there. So
you were still keeping it at 1,000 RPM, right?
Yeah,
all the way to 125.
You can't. Well, once it cuts out, it's not going to go up to 125.
Oh no.
It should go to 125, but these trucks are going to 115 and cutting out usually. All right, but we are going to hold it at 1,000 RPM until we hear the governor cut out. So I want to do a safe start. Put it in neutral, hold the clutch in, double check and make sure those brakes are on. Even though we heard them pop, start the engine. Make sure it's still in neutral, release the clutch, and then I'm going to hold it at 1,000 RPM. That's a little more. And I'm going to hold it here. And I'm actually, when I'm doing this, even though they didn't say anything for the test, I'm watching to make sure that my low air warning light goes off when I get above 60 PSI as well. So we're just waiting on the air now, which is going to be messed up anyway because that trailer air supply should not have popped when it did. Remember, your warning light is based on your front or primary air tank. Usually the rear on this one fills up first. So we're coming up on 60 PSI. I have just a tiny bit more in the rear than the front. Okay, there's 60 on both. Once it goes over, that light should go off. There's the light is gone. So my low air light is off now. I'm watching until I get to where I think about 85 PSI is, which is going to be generally between the 60 and the 100 mark. Once I get there, I'm going to start my time, and I'm going to time it for 45 seconds or until I reach 100 PSI, sorry. So we're getting closer to 85 now. Okay, that's about 85 PSI, so I'm checking my time. And I'm going to watch my time, but I'm also going to watch my needles. If it gets to 100 before 45 seconds, we're good. If it gets to 45 seconds before 100, there's a problem. Still holding it at 1,000 RPM. We're at about 90, probably 92 PSI now. It's going to be pretty close, actually. Okay, there's 100 PSI and it took 40 seconds. Now I'm going to keep it at 1,000 RPMs and I'm going to listen for the governor cutout, which should be around 115 to 125 PSI. It depends on how the manufacturer set it up. You'll hear it though. So we're around 110 now. There's the governor cutout. So it cut out almost right at 115, all right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to fan the brakes until I get to between 90 and 100 PSI, and I'm going to make sure that the governor cuts back in. And these bleed air quick. So the bottom gauge is at about 90, take a little more out of the top. So the governor should kick back in now. I can put it back to 1,000 RPM and watch to make sure the needle starts coming up. Okay, the needle is definitely rising, so I know that my governor is kicked back in. Next thing I'm going to do my tug test. So I'm going to start by checking the trailer brakes. To do that, I'm going to leave it in neutral at first, press the clutch in, and release the tractor brakes. Go ahead and close this for me. Once I've heard all that air bleed out, I'm going to put it in a low forward gear, if it'll go. And I'm going to tug on the trailer. So just let the clutch out slowly till you feel it grab. Trailer didn't move, it's working. Now I'm going to put the tractor brakes back on and I'm going to release the trailer brakes. And I'm going to do the same test. Now I'm testing the brakes on the tractor. Same thing, I'm going to release the clutch slowly till I feel it start to grab. Let it jump a little bit, it's working. Okay, put the trailer brakes back on. Put it back in neutral. The next test would be the service brakes test. We're not going to do that because we got everybody standing in here. But what you do is you release both sets of brakes, put it in a low forward gear, move forward approximately 5 miles per hour, and then you're going to firmly press down on the brakes. You're going to make sure that the truck doesn't pull to the left or the right and doesn't have any excessive dipping in it. Once all of that's done, we're done with our in-cab. Did I miss anything?
No, you nailed it. The only thing I didn't hear, I don't know if you do it in there or out here, the emergency equipment.
No, I would. You know what? I actually spaced emergency equipment. I would do that next.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, and I completely spaced on it for a second, so I'm glad he brought it up. So I'm going to turn the truck off. And then because I'm in here, I can do my emergency equipment. I would climb back there. I want to make sure that I have a fire extinguisher that's rated 5 BC. If I'm carrying placarded hazardous material, it has to be rated 10 BC. Make sure that the needle's in the green, telling me that it's fully charged. Make sure that the safety pin is in place so it doesn't spray all over, and that the inspection tag is within date, right? Within date. Now, I haven't seen an inspection tag on any of these, so just saying. I also want to check my triangles. They should be properly mounted and secured. None of the triangles should be cracked, damaged, or broken, and they should all be reflective in nature. My fuse box is right here. I'm going to make sure that my fuses are in there where they belong by popping that open. All right, which is a pain in the butt to get open if you don't have fingernails. But anyway, check and make sure your fuses are in there. And then you should also have at least 3 spare fuses, which are usually in a Ziploc baggie in these. If you can't find that baggie, then make sure you let the instructor know you don't have any Ziploc fuse, or you don't have any spare fuses. Now, did I miss anything?
No.
All right, get out the truck.
Get out the truck. Now you gotta get going at this point, but you're nailing it.
Okay. So at this point, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done up to here on the truck. All right, so I'm going to start from here back, and I'm going to start with this light right here. So this acts as a running light, blinker light, and a 4-way flasher. It appears to be properly mounted and secured. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. It should be amber in color, but it's hard to tell with the lens. When you click it on, though, you can usually tell. Okay. Now we're going to come all the way back here. Because I'll usually miss it, what I do is, first thing I do is I go right up top, my reflective L brackets. One of them is in place, appears to be properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. The other one is missing entirely, so you want to make sure you note that to the instructor. That's the only thing I got to do up there. So now I'm going to come back down here and go back to a normal flow. First things first, my steps that go up to my catwalk, they appear to be properly mounted and secured, do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. They don't appear to have any debris on them, and they look like they'll safely hold my weight. Coming up here to my fuel tank, the fuel cap. I want to pull it off. It should have a chain on it, so I want to note that the chain is missing. It has a rubber gasket in there. The rubber gasket is in place. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, broken, well, I said cracked, damaged, or broken, and does not appear to be rotting is the word I'm looking for. Okay, I want to make sure that this thread's back on and it's placed all the way until it's completely tight. Make sure you have a rag with you. Okay, my fuel tank, that's all right, I'm fine. My fuel tank appears to be properly mounted and secured. The straps appear to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. They do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The fuel tank does not appear to be spinning or slipping. And I don't see any indications of a fuel leak underneath. All of my components attached to my fuel tank, he never named them off, so I'm not going to name them. But they do appear to be properly mounted and secured. They do not appear, the hoses do not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and the wiring does not appear to be cut, frayed, torn, or have any exposed wires. Okay? My catwalk appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay? And it looks like it will safely hold my weight. It does not have any debris on it either. Okay? Coming over here, my electrical cord does not like to come out. There's no debris inside my plug. All of my pins are present and straight. It is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, damaged, or broken. The wiring does not appear to be cut, torn, or frayed, and I don't see any exposed wires. In connection to the trailer, there's no debris inside the plug. All of my pins are present and straight. Properly mounted and secured, does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My air lines, coming back over here to the tractor, they appear, both my emergency and service air appear to be properly mounted and secured. They don't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The air hoses do not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. I don't hear any air leaks. On my service airline, both of my rubber grommets are in place. They do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. There doesn't appear to be any debris in there. Come on. My service line is properly mounted and secured. My emergency air line. The rubber grommets, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, broken, not rotting, no debris in there. Come on.
So do we have to refer to those as glad hands, or does it matter?
You can call them glad hands. You know, you probably should. So the glad hands, all right? They appear to be they are now properly mounted and secured. However, the mount for the glad hand here, this screw is loose. It probably needs to be tightened because you see how that thing's loose? So make sure you note that to the instructor, all right? Okay. Coming up top here, my hanger is properly mounted and secured, does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and it's keeping my hoses and my wire off of the catwalk so they're not rubbing and getting torn up, okay? My drive shaft appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. There doesn't appear to be any debris in the U-joints. Doesn't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. And it's not loose. My crossbar, excuse me, appears to be properly mounted and secured.
Which one's the crossbar?
This one right here. Oh, if I can.
The one on the top.
Yep. You don't want to kneel on these, they hurt. Appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My torque bar, which is down below it there, appears to be properly mounted and secured at both ends. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Appears to have all hardware in place, and the rubber grommets are in place and do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My truck frame does not appear to be cracked, damaged, broken, or bent as far as I can tell. It does not have any illegal welds or drill holes. I don't know why when he did it initially, he said appears to be properly mounted and secured, but everything mounts and secures to the frame anyway. All right, so we're done up here. All right, coming down here. My suspension hanger appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. If you look down here, because of this dual axle, there's not two hangers. There's one for this one and one for that one. But here, my leaf springs just go to the U-bolt, okay? So my hanger appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present, does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The leaf springs appear to be properly mounted and secured at both ends, with the rubber grommets appearing they don't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The leaf springs don't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and they don't appear to be scissoring. The U-bolts are both in place. They do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. And from here I can see all four nuts, and they all appear to be in place and secure. None of them are cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay? Now for me, I work my way back. So, my brake chamber appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The hoses attached to my brake chamber appear to be properly mounted and secured with couplers at both ends. They do not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and I don't hear any air leaks from the hoses or the brake chamber. Okay? Coming in here to our brakes, where is my... there we go. So down here is my slack adjuster and my push rod up underneath. Okay? It appears to be properly mounted and secured with the pins and the cotter keys in place. If I want to test the slack adjuster, I do it the same as I did the one on the front. I'm going to put the truck in a low forward gear, make sure that it's turned off, release the brakes, and I'm going to pull on that. If it has more than an inch of travel in it, then I need to have it adjusted to within a ½ inch. If I do one side, I need to do both sides. Thank you, sir. All right, inside here, you want to stick your camera in here. My brake drum doesn't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any discoloring, which would indicate that it's had excessive heat and may be wearing out. My brake pads have at least a ¼ inch thickness. Neither of them appears to have any oil or grease on them. The inside rim does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any illegal welds or excessive hammer marks. The inside wall of my tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The tread of my tire appears to be evenly worn without any cupping or flat spots. It has at least 2 30-second depth of tread. It can be a recap. I also want to verify, and I forgot this on the front tire, that there's no screws, nails, or anything else in there that might be causing damage to the tire or causing it to leak air. The outside wall of my inner tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The outside of the rim on my inner tire does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay? Does not appear to have any illegal welds or excessive hammer marks. When I look through the individual holes, I don't see any cracking or spider webbing. My air valve appears to be properly mounted and secured with the cap in place. I can test the air pressure by using an air pressure gauge, pressing it on there and ensuring that it's within manufacturer specifications, which is between 90 and 110 psi. The two rims, the outside of the inner rim and the inside of the outer rim, they're married up or butted together completely and entirely, but the tires are not touching. There is no debris or items in between the tires that could cause damage to my vehicle or someone else's. The inside wall of the outer tire, the inside of the rim on the outer tire does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. When I look through the holes, I don't see anything, any spider webbing or cracking that would indicate damage. It does not appear to have any illegal welds or excessive hammer marks. The inside wall of the outer tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The tread on the outer tire appears to be evenly worn without any flat spots, cupping, and I didn't mention this on the inside tire, but on both of them I want to ensure that there doesn't appear to be any damage or feathering. And again, I want to make sure that there's no screws, nails, or anything else in the tire that could damage it or cause an air leak. This can be a recap as well. Has at least 2 30-second inch of tread. Outside wall of the outer tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The rim on the outer tire does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any illegal welds. When I look through the holes, mostly what I see is the other rim, but I don't see any indications of anything that is cracked, damaged, or broken. My air valve is properly mounted and secured. I can check my tire pressure by putting a tire pressure gauge on there, ensuring that it's inflated within manufacturer specifications, which is between 90 and 110 psi. My lug nuts are all in place. I do not see any black or white streaks that would indicate a loose lug nut. None of them appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My hub appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. And I'm not sure if this one takes oil. Probably does, and I don't see any leaking. Okay.
That's a grease hub instead of oil.
Is it a grease hub?
Yeah.
Either way, I don't see any leaking.
Yeah,
so
as long as it's
so an oil hub will have a little window on it where you can see the level, and then a grease hub will typically be like that. So, yep.
So on the aluminum, we're looking for black smudges,
black or white
streaks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Kind of like what that road has.
Yeah, well, these black smudges are probably from grease.
Oh, yeah.
But it's hard to tell. I don't see any leaking on this. So, now, Mr. Instructor, I'm going to conduct the inspection on the rear drive axle exactly the same as I did on the front drive axle. Would you like me to demonstrate? If they say yes, you probably missed something. Okay? And I know that I did miss something. Coming back here. My shock, that's why I work from front to back. My shock appears to be properly mounted and secured at the top and bottom. The rubber grommets are in place and do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The shock does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. It does not appear to be leaking. My airbag appears to be properly mounted and secured at the top and bottom. Does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. And I don't hear any air leaks. Then I can move to my rear axle. So that's why I said I'm going to conduct it exactly the same as I did the front drive axle. Would you like me to demonstrate? If he says yes, you probably missed something.
Like that airbag and the shot.
Exactly, like I did on this one. Otherwise, it is exactly the same. Any questions on that? All right. Moving up here to my fifth wheel slide. That's this guy here, okay? Properly mounted and secured with all of the vertical and horizontal bolts present. Okay? Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My fifth wheel appears to be properly mounted and secured with the locks in place and the locking handle in the locked position, which is on the other side. Okay? My fifth wheel is married to the apron of the trailer. It doesn't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and it appears to be properly greased and lubricated. If you go to the back of the truck here, I'm not doing the apron yet, though.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So, but you're right, you will.
And the rivets on the
On
trailer?
my fifth wheel, the locking jaws are wrapped around the shank of the kingpin. Okay? That's important to note. Now, on the back of my truck, assuming that I either have or have not had to do the rear axle, my mud flap hangers, they should have 100% coverage, right? Or is it 50 on these? 50% coverage, I think. No, it's 100. It's 100% on these. It's 50 on the side of the trailer.
Right.
There should be 100% coverage of DOT reflective tape on here. There is not. You need to note that. The hanger appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The mud flap appears to be properly mounted and secured. Is slightly pliable. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. All hardware is present. Okay. What's that?
Not dragging.
And not dragging on the ground. Great point.
And you have to mention it covers both tires, correct?
I don't recall him saying that, but it certainly couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
So it covers 100% of the rear tires. So let's remember that as well. Okay?
And then one thing too, bro, you got to say, like, tire part, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not. You probably not check that, but you didn't say they're both the same size of the tire. Like, it's not mismatching size. Did you ever say that or not?
I've never heard him say that.
Oh, no?
No. I mean, it may just be because that would be obvious. If your tires are different sizes, one of them's not going to be touching the ground. That's going to cause a problem. He never mentioned that, but again, it's one of those things. Couldn't hurt to say it either. Couldn't hurt to say my tires are both the same size.
Better than not enough.
All right. If you guys don't know what it looks like, if you come under here real quick, this guy right here, this is a torque bar. This is the rear torque bar. This right here.
Right.
Okay, everybody get a chance? Can everybody see it? There's one of these up front. That's what I checked up front there. This guy here. Okay, when I was up front on the catwalk and I said the torque bar was properly mounted, secured, and all that good stuff, not cracked, damaged, broken, all the hardware in place, that's what I was talking about. There's one up front, one back here, and there may or may not be on the trailer. We'll see when we get there. Okay. Since I'm here, the lights on the back of my tractor. I've got 3 lights on the back of this tractor. 2 of them are red colored lights. They have red lenses and they should have red bulbs in them. These act as my stop lights, my running lights, my turn signals, and my 4-way flashers. They appear to be properly mounted and secured. They do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The center light is a clear light or a white light. That is my reverse light only. It appears to be properly mounted and secured. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. All of the lenses appear to be clear and clean, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Questions so far? Great. Now we're ready to do the trailer. And that's why, so I do the whole tractor, then I go to the trailer. All right. Starting with the front of my trailer. Okay. I don't see any rips, tears, large dents, anything that's broken. I don't have excessive missing rivets. Okay. My clearance light up top, amber in color, appears to be properly mounted and secured. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay. Coming down here, the apron of my trailer, properly married up to the 5th wheel. I know we already mentioned it, but I mentioned it again. Properly married up to the 5th wheel. There's no gap. I can't see daylight in there. The apron itself does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. I don't see any rust. I don't see any welds or anything like that. Okay? Looking down the side of the trailer, starting right here, I've got an amber reflector. It's a reflector only. It's not a light. Okay? It's amber in color. Appears to be properly mounted and secured. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. 50% of my trailer should have DOT reflective tape on it. This one does not because it's torn in places. Okay? 50% and none of it should be torn. It should all be clean. Okay? Looking down my frame, making sure that I don't have large dents, or anything that's broken on it. I'm not missing any excessive rivets on the side of the trailer. I don't have any excessive bulges, cuts, or tears on my trailer. Okay. Coming under here, my landing gear appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The handle is in the cradle, and the gear is in the fully raised position. My ribs on my trailer up to this point here, none of them appear to be broken or missing, and I don't see any illegal, I don't think there's illegal welds on them, but yeah, I don't think that applies to the ribs of the trailer, but none of them appear to be missing, and none of my floorboards appear to be missing either. Okay, coming from here to the center of my trailer, all of my ribs appear to be present, none of them are missing, none of them are cracked, damaged, or broken, and all of my floorboards appear to be in place. Here on the center of the trailer, I've got 3 different items. I've got 2 lights and a reflector. All 3 are amber in color. The reflector acts as a reflector only. These 2 lights act as running lights or service lights. This one acts as a flasher or a blinker light. I'm not sure if this one does. Blinker light and 4-way flasher. All of them appear to be properly mounted and secured. None of them appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. The trailer right here does have some damage in it. It's small and it's unlikely to be a structural issue, but I'd note it anyway. My ribs under the trailer from here back to the tandem slide, back to where the tandem slide and the tires are, not just right here on the tandem slide. They all appear to be present. None of them appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and all of my floorboards appear to be present. None of them appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Coming back here, this is my tandem slide. Okay, this is where I can move my tandem forward and backward on my trailer depending on my load. It appears to be properly mounted and secured. It does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and my holes do not appear to be, I don't have any oblong holes, which would indicate that the tandem is slamming back and forth. Okay, the locking pins are in place. They're through the hole to hold the tandem where it belongs, and the locking handle is in the locked position. Okay, any hoses or wires that I have attached to my tandem appear to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Couplers at both ends where necessary. Hoses do not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Okay, these are going to be brake hoses, by the way, so I don't hear any air leaking out of them. And any wiring that I see, other than the wiring up there, doesn't appear to be cut, frayed, or torn, and I don't see any exposed wires. Since we're here, come on down here, guys. All right, my brake chamber appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and I don't hear any air leaks. The hoses attached to it appear to be properly mounted and secured with couplers at both ends. I can't see the one on the back side, but I can stick my head in there and see it. Okay, they don't appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and I don't hear any air leaks. Okay, just like on the drive axle, my push rod and slack adjusters back here, okay, they appear to be properly mounted and secured with the pin and the cotter keys in place. If I want to check the travel on my slack adjuster and make sure the truck's in a low forward gear, turn it off. It would be a good idea to chock the wheels as well. And release the trailer brakes. And then I'm going to pull on this. If it has more than an inch of travel, I need to take it to a service shop, get it serviced to within 1/2 inch. If I do one side, I do both sides. Okay? My brake drum does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any discoloring, which would indicate excessive heat and potential wear. My brake pads have at least 1/4 inch thickness. They do not appear to be dangerously worn thin. That's something I didn't mention on the brakes up front. All of the brake pads, you want to make sure they're not dangerously worn thin. And then none of them have any oil or grease on them. Neither of these have any oil or grease on them either. Okay? Before I go to my tires, because I did brakes first, I still want to do my suspension back here. I don't have any shocks, but I do have leaf springs. So my suspension hanger, front and back, appears to be properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. They don't appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. My leaf springs appear to be properly mounted and secured at both ends with all hardware present. The grommets, the rubber grommets are in place. They do not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken, and the leaf springs do not appear to be scissoring. My U-bolts are in place on both the front and the back of the leaf spring, and all of the nuts are properly secured, okay? This is a torque bar as well. It's different than the one up there. This is used to make sure your tandem is in line with your trailer. So if it's out of line, you can adjust this, all right? And that'll make sure your tandem's in line. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, broken, or bent. Okay, all hardware is present. All right, inside of my inner tire rim does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay, does not appear to have any illegal welds or excessive hammer marks. Inside wall of my inside tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The tread on my tire appears to be evenly worn with no flat spots, no cupping, no damage, no feathering. Does not appear to have any nails, screws, or anything else in there that could cause damage to the tire or cause a leak. The tread is at least 2/32 of an inch deep, and these can be recaps. Outside wall of my inside tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Outside rim of my inside tire does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any illegal welds. Does not appear to have any excessive hammer marks. The valve stem is in place. I can reach my hand in there and make sure that it's properly mounted and secured, right? Not broken. I can check the air pressure using an air pressure gauge to make sure it's inflated within manufacturer specifications, which is between 90 and 110 psi. The two rims are butted together. They're both touching, but the tires are not. There's nothing in between the tires that could cause damage to my vehicle or to someone else's if it came out. Inside of the outer rim does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any illegal welds or excessive hammer marks. The valve stem is right there. I could reach in and ensure that it's properly mounted and secured. It's not damaged or broken. I can check the air pressure the same way I would check this one. Put an air pressure gauge on it, ensure that it's inflated within manufacturer specifications, which is between 90 and 110 psi. Inside wall of the outer tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The tread on the outer tire appears to be evenly worn with no flat spots, no cupping, no damage, no feathering. There's nothing inside the tire, like a screw or a nail, that could cause damage or create an air leak. The tread is at least 2/32 of an inch deep. Outside wall of the outer tire does not appear to have any abrasions, bulges, or cuts. I didn't mention, but this tire can also be a retread or a recap. The rim on my outer tire, this is not an aluminum rim, okay? So, first things first, the rim does not appear to be cracked, damaged, or broken. Does not appear to have any illegal welds. Does not appear to have any excessive hammer marks. We already talked about the valve stem. All of my lug nuts appear to be in place and secure, and I don't see any streaks of rust, which would indicate a loose lug nut. The hub is properly mounted and secured with all hardware present. Does not appear to be cracked, damaged, broken, or leaking. I can check the level. You probably can't in this one because you can't see through it, but the oil level you should be able to check in that window. All right, Mr. Inspector, I would conduct the inspection of the rear axle of the trailer exactly the same way as I conducted the inspection of the front axle of the trailer. Do you want me to demonstrate that?